Not sure what that feller was doing there, but maybe he's going shopping. We're taking the scenic route. Out for a jaunt around town, and it's been since I was in college since I've done a little quick jaunt around town like this. And last time I did that, I was on a CBR 250R and about 2 less cylinders and probably about 80 less horsepower. But that's whenever I first got on a street bike, and I had scooters before that, but that's whenever I stepped into a real bike, because it, I had a clutch, right? That made it real. Instead of fake, It's a little bit hot tonight without moving, but once you're moving, it's more than bearable. There's not a whole lot going on. It is July 3rd, and there's a bit of rain earlier today and last night. And supposed to go watch some races tonight, but that didn't happen. That's okay. Maybe I'm able to make the rain date next weekend and see some racing. I've got one of my aunt's good friends has a race car now, and hopefully he does all right, and maybe I can go see him on his debut on the racetrack. My aunt's mechanic, so to speak. Some of you might get that joke, and some of you won't. Yeah, I'm just on a cruise. I mean, this is about like it was whenever I just got my license on a bike. I just kind of cruise up and down around town, and basically be by myself. I don't really have too many people that ride around here, and that's kind of one of the things why I don't really like to ride too often anymore. And it just gets boring by yourself, and you end up getting in trouble. Can get yourself in trouble in a hurry by yourself. So now I have done some of these summer jaunts around town, but I'm trying to keep this at a pretty light pace, because last time I was out on a summer ride at night and I got a little too carried away. I was a week into quarantine from being with my friend and same truck hauling jet skis out of the lake for about an hour back and forth. And of course back then it was, you had to take your full 2 weeks off work. Well, about a weekend I got pretty bored with it. If anybody knows me real well, they'll be able to tell you I don't like to sit at home too long, and quarantine was nothing different from normal. So I went out on my DRZ, and I was just riding too aggressive, and I knew there was a place of gravel where they had redone the road several years ago, and they have this issue, or at least they did, where they would like to just dump way too much gravel down for as much oil and the rest of whatever they do to, oil and chip the road. They just put down way too much gravel, and it, it's been several years in this intersection, and, pretty slick. And I found the slick all right. Front end washed out on me, and then I thought I was fine. I didn't really have too much damage on the bike. I was on my DRZ, so I had probably $30 worth of plastic, or 20 cents worth of sandpaper needed to get it back good as new. And I ended up switching to black now, but part of that was because I wanted a graphics kit, and the white was scuffed. So I ended up getting that, and really I would have been fine. I had no scratches on me or anything. My helmet did get scratched. It went for a ride along the pavement. And then my main problem here was whenever I went down, my left wrist ended up getting tweaked, and I thought, oh, maybe just a sprain. Well, then I got home and realized after, you know, some major wincing on the phone with my mom, asking her, you know, how do you know if you broke your arm? Because she broke her arm when she was a kid, and I knew that. And well, she said, we better go check this out. And I said, well, that's probably a good idea, because it was, you know, pretty late, but it's better than not knowing the next day what was going on. So we went ahead and got the way I look at it, we got the x-ray out of the way and diagnosis, and was able to just get right into the doctor. And in about 10 minutes at the doctor, he was able to go ahead and put me in a soft cast. Well, I say soft, so it wasn't like a hard cast I couldn't take off. It was a removable cast. They throw it in a microwave and they get it real hot, and then they form it around your arm. And the first week I couldn't take it off, and then after that, for the next 5 weeks, I was able to take it off to shower, and you know, whenever I was just tired of wearing it, you know how it is when you get the option to not wear a cast, you know, you find yourself you might not want to wear the cast. So I was fine though. Even, you know, 4 weeks after the first week, I was already well, my car was having issues at the time, so I replaced the alternator on that and was wrenching on stuff, even though I had a broken arm still technically. I was just, you know, still doing that. And well, probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. I even, you know, I couldn't just let my bike sit, so I did ride around the block a little bit, and that wasn't probably the best either. But I was lucky. It was just whenever I twisted, what it did was pull the tendon or ligament, whichever, pulled the bone, one of the carpals, and just simply chipped it. And that was all that happened, and it was just a slight displacement, and they didn't have to move anything. It was just gonna heal on its own. Unless it didn't, they said, we'll know in about 8 weeks whether or not it's gonna heal for sure, and if it goes in the right spot. Other than that, you're kind of on your own. So for 2 months, you might not know if you need surgery or not. It might be just fine. So that's not really exactly reassuring to be told that, but it wasn't the end of the world. I just hope for the best, and really though, I should have been smarter about it, knowing that I might need surgery if I didn't take it easy and just taking it easy. Well, it was my first broken arm, and hopefully the next one I don't have, but if I do, you know, hopefully it's I treat myself a little bit better and go ahead and do what the doctor says to do. So but yeah, most of the time nowadays, I mean, this is in town and there's just all sorts of gravel everywhere, so I typically just try to take it easy at night. And there's deer all through town. They'll run out right in front of you, right in the middle of town. It doesn't matter. It can be almost broad daylight and you'll have one run out in front of you. So I am keeping my eyes peeled, especially through here. There's a bit of woods, so I just try to avoid them, and haven't had a run-in yet, but I'm sure I will. Hopefully I end up on the right side of that one and I'm able to hopefully avoid it by slowing down, not swerving. Maybe on the bike. In a car, probably don't want to swerve. That's actually where most people make their mistake, is they swerve off the road into a tree or a ditch or something else they wouldn't have hidden that insurance would have just said, well, that's your fault. The deer wasn't. You hit something else instead. That's your fault. tonight I'm wearing a new set of Alpinestars textile pants. My jeans, I'll have them in the wash today, and they're not quite dry, so rather than messing with that, I had on a pair of gym shorts, and I opted to just go ahead and throw these on. I haven't worn them yet. I have had I think this is my third pair of textile pants, even though I've only gone through like 2 riding jackets. My textile pants, well, they're a little bit harder to figure out, to be honest. So if you want some pants to fit over jeans with a belt, they're not the easiest things to size out. And on top of a little bit of weight gain whenever I broke my arm, I've now got these pants, and well, I still can't fit them over jeans, but you know, if I need an alternative, you know, I can just throw these on. And I really should start wearing these anyways. When I go to the gym, just run my bike up there and put these on, and bring a backpack with some tennis shoes and just change into them. But we'll see how that goes. I might end up doing that here. Things have been pretty busy. I've been, at least earlier this summer, getting together my mini motorbike, and went through quite a bit of parts trying to get it all sorted and freshened up after it spent its life as a dirt bike, mostly just not even being rode. So I ended up making several adjustments after the first race, and had to redo the suspension, and I'll talk more on all this stuff later. But for now, I'll just say it was a lot of work, and I'm pretty happy with where it's at. Maybe a couple small tweaks again, but nothing major. But I've hopefully going to have a little bit more time this summer. Just don't really have a whole lot going on besides racing. To go racing about once a month. I like that kind of schedule to where I can hopefully get some things together and not get stuck not being able to get the bike done for a race day. So I've liked that schedule so far. I've got a race on July 24th coming up, and August 13th and 14th, and then after that I've just got a endurance race in October. So I've got a little over a month off, I think, month and a half before the race in October. So I'm thinking about going up to a track in Indianapolis area, and spending a few laps around there and just practicing. You know, practicing anywhere is great. Doesn't matter where it's at, as long as you're getting some laps spun, you can build on your skills. But other than that, that's pretty well about the only plans I got. Excuse me, only plans I have. So yeah, I'll probably go ahead and cut this one short. This is just me riding around in town and just kind of cruising and enjoying the warm weather without the sun. At least it's pretty brutal, to say the least, with the humidity and the sun here lately. So I have avoided it and tried to stay in the shade at the very least, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this one here. Thanks for watching.